Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Celluloid History Life is a Mystery channel. My name is Dan Rowlands. And as usual, a very warm welcome to fans of the Kildares, Rebecca Fish Pond, Open Up, and not forgetting Emergency Exit. Yes, I did intend to broadcast a little bit earlier today. However, had a bit of a coffee spillage incident with my stylist, so but anyway, we're here and filming now, so I hope everybody's well on this Monday afternoon. It was Bob Geldof, wasn't it, who famously said that he didn't like Mondays, and or was that up until the point that he discovered that if he started a campaign against third world hunger, he might end up what was it, owning Channel 4, or anyway becoming a multimillionaire after his well documented, credible, but sadly not particularly financially successful career with the Boomtown Rats, Ireland's Sex Pistols, according to Bob. No disrespect to Bob Geldof. It's very easy to, badmouth individuals, but as I say, God loves a trier. You know what I mean? Kudos, Bob. Anyway, just been watching Vicky Young on Politics Live, and quite interesting program, really. Of course, Trump's had a hero's welcome in Israel, and you had the all the hostages are back in Israel now, aren't they? And it's a lot of relief and a lot of it's good news, isn't it? I mean, it was kind of not trying to sound a bit too Woodstock. It was kind of bad vibes, wasn't it? You don't have to be Albert Einstein to work out that if there's a region of the globe where there's people getting sort of ruthlessly slaughtered, it's going to have the ripples that sort of thing creates tend to be negative, don't they? At the risk of understatement, far more negative than, let's say, sitting in a bed with your girlfriend pretending you're a politician. God rest John Lennon's soul. Anyway, back to the task in hand. There's the usual. It's interesting, isn't it, the way that Donald Trump's, probably by far the most famous high-profile politician in on the globe, on the planet, and Labour's approach to Labour's attitude to Trump's achievements is tends to be quite cautious, doesn't it? Because they don't want to be associated with it gets called, this term far right's kind of getting overused, isn't it? But nevertheless, that's what the so-called mainstream media considers Trump to be, isn't it? Far right, like the same way as they consider Nigel Farage in the UK to be far right. But the point to go back to the point, really. Labour had a representative. The Labour government had a representative in the studio with Kirsty Young on the BBC at lunchtime called Emily Darlington. Reform had a representative, a lady called Layla Cunningham, and the third guest on the sofa, which is like a new development. They've sort of made it a bit more a little bit more similar to This Morning as a vibe, I would suggest. for some reason. Daily Politics on BBC for reasons best known to themselves. I'm not saying it's as covers as matters as trivial as This Morning does, but it's got a similar vibe as far as a broadcasting vibe goes, you know. I mean, I studied history at uni, not you know, film studies or broadcasting or whatever. But there you go. I did study a bit of media actually, but yeah, I think that was part of it. Anyway, I'm digressing there, but they also had a brief appearance by Chris Philp, who is I believe is the Shadow Home Secretary, the Conservatives, Chris Philp, and yeah, so you had Emily Darlington. I've noticed that the Labour stance seems to be that over the weekend I noticed similar, that although you know, Trump's obviously had a big hand in what's gone on in this peace deal, but as a, the Labour line is that, well, you know, the government line is any US president would have had to have had a hand in any peace deal in the Middle East, you know, because you know, as a sort of what used to be called the leader of the free world, one of the most, if not the second most powerful politician in the world, you know. So the Labour line is to sort of point that out, that, you know, it's not so much just Trump. Could have been Biden, or, you know, whoever was you know, a US president at the time, so to speak. But the Reform line, the so-called far right in the UK line, is that, yeah, no, it was Trump, and, you know, the Trump are basically really cozying up to Reform are really cozying up to Trump, you know, and sort of, you know, saying, well, you know, the Layla Cunningham from Reform was saying to Emily Darlington from Labour, well, it wasn't Biden, was it? It was Trump, you know, and so stick that in your pipe and smoke it, so to speak, you know. So I'm not too sure. I mean, this is quite ridiculous. I don't think it doesn't reflect well generally on the UK from where I'm sitting. This kind of argument over, you know, how much do you like Trump or not? It's a bit like, you know, it's a bit like say there's it's a bit like there's a school bully in the playground in primary school, isn't there? Who's like, you know, he's the best at bare knuckle fighting, and you know, all the girls fancy him, and you know, and it's like, and you know, and even the boys that have a go at him get a right hander, and they're on the deck, you know, and he's best at playing British Bulldog, you know, and you know, he's the best at football and all that, you know. It's like everyone's trying to cozy up to. That wasn't me in primary school, by the way, I would add, you know. Yeah, I can remember one or two individuals like that, but anyway, I'm digressing there, and my Ronnie Corbett want, I guess. But you know what I mean? It's a bit embarrassing that Britain, as a smaller nation, okay, traditionally we're an ally of the US, of course, aren't we? Would have been snookered in both world wars without them. But you know, this kind of thing. Oh, you know, Trump's bloody great. You know, he's fantastic. That's what Reform are saying, basically, and Labour are saying, well, you know, any leader of the US would have had to have been involved in a peace deal in the Middle East. And besides, look at all the negotiations and good work that has been done before by, you know, yeah, there was some sort of, they were arguing about some emails that has been sent by US bigwigs. One of them allegedly, I can't remember the names of these people that sent them now from the US, but one of them was basically saying, you know, Britain can't take any credit whatsoever for peace in the Middle East, and anyone who tells you different is talking shite, basically talking nonsense, you know. Excuse my French there. I was hoping, you know, these videos need to get clipped into shorts, don't they, and shown on Peston later on, but they can always edit that out, I suppose. Anyway, excuse my language there, but yeah. So yeah, this one of these emails from a US bigwig was saying, don't believe anybody that tells you that Starmer or never mind just Starmer, any UK diplomat had anything to do with the peace in the Middle East. But then there's another email from some other bigwig, from some other US bigwig, thanking, giving profuse thanks to the UK for its role in the peace. So it's like, believe what if you in the Reform Party, you believe the first email, and if you support the UK government, you believe the second email. The truth is probably somewhere in between, isn't it? As I'm increasingly beginning to think that is the case generally when it comes to listening to government representatives and Reform haranguing each other. The truth is probably somewhere in between. But moving swiftly on, something I forgot to mention at the start. Hope viewers, I hope you all enjoyed the Celluloid History Life is a Mystery on the Road videos that were produced over the weekend. Me and my production team went up to Ashton on the the outskirts of Manchester, up on moors, as they say. Sort of place where you got to be. If it's a full moon, you got to you tread carefully on a full moon up there. So the air is quite rarefied compared to inner city Manchester town. You know what I mean? But I hope you enjoyed the little clips we got up there of the Doors. Was it the door? Was it the actual Doors? It's hard to say. It was hard to tell, wasn't it? There you go. The jury's out there. Anyway, so that was from time to time the channel will go on the road with a production team, and we'll see how things go. I mean, it was quite early days yet, so but yeah, where are we? Yes. I'd mentioned that Chris Philp, the shadow Home Secretary from the Conservative Party, is in the studio with Vicky Young today on the BBC, the good old BBC. He was basically saying that what the hell is Starmer doing in Israel? He's just trying to sort of take credit for something that he didn't actually do. Not, the Conservatives' line is similar to Reform, as in, obviously anti-Starmer, and what the hell does Starmer think he should be doing? And besides, he ought to be in London answering questions about why this spy case collapsed. Something to do with our diplomatic relations with China, wasn't it? Allegedly, some sort of espionage has gone on, as they say, has gone down, occurred. Allegedly. So yeah, Chris Philps's line was that he, Starmer should be here answering questions about that, the China spy case, Kirsty Young helpfully pointed out that every other European leader is also in Israel, like this leader of Spain, leader of France. I think she said the leader of Germany. So why shouldn't Starmer be there? Which is quite a helpful point to make, I would suggest. I'll tell you what was very interesting towards the end of the programme, though. I'm aware we are over the 10-minute mark. I've got my one eye on the clock in this, the febrile racy political world that we're part of at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, one really interesting point towards the end of the show was there was this investigative journalist on the show called Paul Holden. I don't know what his politics were particularly. Presumably he's got a paymaster, so to speak. But anyway, he was making some really interesting points about how Morgan McSweeney, the red-haired guy that's they call it chief of staff, Starmer's right-hand man. The guy is meant to have been, largely responsible for the fact we've currently got a Labour government. That Morgan McSweeney. The accusation, the allegations are that McSweeney used to head up an organisation called Labour Together this was when Jeremy Corbyn, the famous Jeremy Corbyn, was leader of the Labour Party, and the allegations are that this organisation, Labour Together, received £740,000 in donations between 2011 and 2017, I think was the timescale. That's over a 6-year period. Mathematicians in the audience. And yeah, the allegations are that was not actually, nobody knew about that. That, you know, there were donations that went undeclared until, I think, basically came out in the wash in 2021, I think. This Labour Together had received these donations, you know, and not declared them. And lo and behold, well, I don't know quite why I said lo and behold there, but never mind. Furthermore, yeah, I mean, obviously, Starmer went on to become Prime Minister, didn't he? And he's still got Morgan McSweeney as his right-hand man. So basically, to sort of cut a long story short, they had quite a good sort of, you know, bit of a ding-dong in the studio, so to speak, about how you know, it was all a bit all dodgy goings on. There was a lot of dodgy goings on afoot back in the day when Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party, and the Emily Darlington, the government representative, was sort of desperately trying to sort of say, well, you know, there was a dreadful atmosphere in the party. The party was in a hell of a state under Corbyn, and you know, the anti-Semitism scandals, and it was a terrible environment to be part of the Labour, you know, the Labour Party in those days, and you know, so there was basically, I suppose the juxtaposition was, you know, the more forgiving view of Starmer is that, you know, you know, Starmer had to clean up the Labour Party to make it electable, and lo and behold, he did, and he got elected with a big majority, a small total vote count, but a big majority, you know, which is more than Corbyn managed to do. Corbyn managed to get a huge increase in the Labour membership with his Momentum movement, which was another point that cropped up in the argument, because, you know, the idea that, well, Corbyn had a movement called Momentum, but the counter argument to that was that Momentum was above board compared to this Labour Together movement that McSweeney was heading. The accusation is that Labour Together was much more cloak and dagger, and that's putting it quite politely, but from what the allegations were, compared to Momentum, which was more above board. You know, Corbyn appeared at Glastonbury and all that sort of carry on, didn't he? Increased the Labour Party membership by many thousands, you know, with the Momentum movement. But so yeah, the Starmer supporters, that's the line, you know, is that something had to be done to get Labour in power. You know, Corbyn was never going to win power. The Labour Party had to be changed, and it had to become electable. So, you know, if you wanted to become a Labour Prime Minister, you'd have to clean up the party, you know, and that's all Starmer's guilty of, kind of thing, you know, that's the defence, the case for the defence. Sorry, I was trying to think of that phrase earlier. It's not a particularly rare phrase, is it? But anyway, but the case for the prosecution is you know, of course, what's her name, Layla Cunningham, who I would add. I don't like getting too personal in don't like this cancel culture, as I mentioned in previous videos. But I'd have to say the lady did remind me of possibly a character out of Blade Runner, if anyone's seen that Harrison Ford classic movie. Very sort of, let's put it this way, her face reflected the light a fair amount. Anyway, but I'm not, you know, as I say, I'm not into demonising people, but yeah, Law obviously, I say obviously because she's a member of Reform. Layla Cunningham was jumping on the fact that, Starmer's an opportunist and Starmer's duplicitous, and he'll jump on any bandwagon as long as it gets him in power. That's that kind of carry on. That was the charge from the Reform representative, as it were. I mean, thinking about those two sides of the argument, I mean, is it reasonable to suggest that, hey, sounds like politics to me, sounds like politics, sounds like the way that politics works, that kind of thing. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect politician, is there? There's no such thing as a perfect political leader. I'm aware we've gone past the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to try and wrap it up shortly. But thanks for staying with me this long. I hope everyone has a good Monday evening. I hope everyone has a happy Monday. Good-ish. Just pop that one in there for you. But yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a good bit of television today from the Politics Live on the BBC. I was just thinking, going back to the fact that there's no such thing as a perfect political leader. I mean, you got that joke, that anecdote that gets told about our great wartime leader, Winston Churchill. He used to be fond of port and brandy and cigars, didn't he, after dinner? Mainly brandy, I think. And apparently the story goes that his housekeeper once said to him, Mr. Churchill, you're drunk, or, don't you think you've had enough? I think you're drunk, Mr. Churchill. And Mr. Churchill's alleged to reportedly have said, in the morning, my dear, I'll be sober, but you'll still be ugly. There's that one, isn't there? And then there's... I was thinking of Charles Kennedy, God bless him, as well, the late Liberal Democrat leader. But I mean, that's quite a tragic case of the very serious illness of alcoholism, wasn't it? I mean, eventually he sort of came clean and confessed to the mainstream media, didn't he, about having a drink problem, and of course that is the first step in any problem like that nature, is sort of recognising that you've got a problem, isn't it, really, and but yeah, God bless Charles Kennedy, but he managed to sort of become the leader of the Liberal Democrat Party, didn't he? Presumably with the help of top shelf etc. God bless him, but I don't think he survived very much longer after he sort of confessed that to mainstream media, did he? The drink problem thing, But yeah, may his God be with him, and just goes to show you what a serious illness alcoholism is, But anyway, it is time to wrap it up. I've already said I hope everyone has a good Monday evening, but I'll say it again. I wish everybody well, start of the week. I think the Celluloid History channel will be returning tomorrow. As I keep saying, I don't want to get too sort of formal about, it's going to be this time tomorrow for this length of time, sort of thing. I'm not there yet, wait till I get the... No, I haven't had any representatives from Kimi Badenoch's team contacting me yet regarding, propping up the left side of the Conservative Party for a fee, £150 an hour for the first 7 days, and we'll renegotiate after that, But anyway, I'll let you know if that happens. Kimi Badenoch's team are, get in touch, or Keir Starmer's team get in touch, and Keir and Morgan want to have a word in my shell, maybe you might, maybe we can do like one of them sort of Zoom calls, and we'll see, sort out the UK's problems. But yes, wishing everybody well, and everyone look after themselves, as Axl Rose said. Pass me the Class A drugs. No, he didn't say that. He said, as Axl Rose said, he said, welcome to the jungle. Take inspiration from that. It's a jungle out there, isn't it? And yeah, sorry about my joke about Class A drugs. It's a bit of guillotine humour there. What's that Motorhead song? Stay clean, stay clean. Alcohol was the main problem I had. I'm not touched that for 20 years or anything else, apart from what the doctor tells me to take, medicine wise, and it's held me in good stead. So yeah, just a bit of guillotine humour there about Axl Rose and his former private life, I guess, former private habits. Anyway, I've got a bit of secret to say before I sign off here. I've actually got Mr. T hostage in the studio, and it's just a ploy that to make sure you tune in tomorrow.
Don't make me mad.
To see whether I'm gonna
Don't make me mad.
release him.
Don't give me no back talk, sucker.
So you'll have to tune in tomorrow to see whether I release him.
Don't give me no back talk, sucker. Shut up, fool. Shut up, fool. Shut up, fool. Don't make me mad.
Anyway, yeah. Obviously, we're treating him well, me and the production team, because
don't give me no back talk, sucker.
He's probably getting that Stockholm.
Don't make me mad.
He's probably getting that Stockholm syndrome, getting fond of his kidnappers.
Don't give me no back talk, sucker. Don't make me mad. Don't make me mad. Don't make me mad. Don't give me no back talk,
calm down.
Don't give me no back talk, sucker.
Anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a Liverpudlian impression there. But yeah, so you'll have to tune in to see whether we're going to release, whether they pay the ransom and Mr. T can get back to the A team, Anyway, always, as always, end your political bulletins by slowing down the pace of the words that you're saying to provide them with more emphasis. Have a good night. Good night.